Thanks for joining me here at Feel Better with Lauren. I'm Lauren. Apparently there's about 650 different muscles in the human body. There's about 90 different groups that those muscles fall into, and then there's 5 different areas of the body that those 90 groups fall into. We try to work them all at some point, and what we're doing right now is creating a base of poses or exercises or moves that we can use and later mix and match, and then we can target certain areas that we need to feel better on a daily basis. So today we're going to do things like a crescent lunge, we're going to do some twists with that, and a bunch of poses that we've already done. Hit like, subscribe, and notify if you want to keep in touch, and skip ahead to the exercise if you've already seen this instruction. Let's take a look. Today's exercises are super easy. It's mostly stuff that we've already done with some slight variations, some slight twisting. Again, breathing through our nose, inhaling to create space, exhaling to go into that. We'll start off as we do always at the back of the mat. We're going to get rid of all our stale breath. We're going to stretch at the back of our feet, stretch at our wrists, and then go into tabletop for a cat, cow, cat, right? And then the difference here that we're going to do is we're going to do a reverse and stretch up to the sky and hold that, and then come down and thread our arm in between our arm and try to put our face onto the ground or wherever is comfortable. Now we're stretching an arm that we haven't really done before. We'll do the other side. Then we'll go into our downward dog, which we've done, plank, and then this time we're going to move our right leg forward first and move up to a crescent lunge. We're trying to keep we're on our toes in the back. We're going to try to keep as much of a 90 degree in our front. We're going to turn our foot in a little bit, and that gives stability to your knee. And the lower you go, the harder it is, but also any pressure is taken off your back as you go low. From there, we'll add a twist to that, the opposite way, which adds some balance and stability. And then we move our arms around like a windmill. Our feet stay the same into a warrior 2 that we did before, looking at over our middle finger, trying to stretch into that as much as we can. And then we'll go back to a side lunge. You can do that right down to the ground if you can. I like to do a sort of high variation, and you can move around your hips so you can feel where the stretch is. We'll come forward and do a chair pose and bend over and up, and then go to the other side, come back to a chair pose, go all the way to the top with our hips out as we do, very active there. And this time we come back around and put our hands over our back and forward fold like that, and see how far you can go into that. You want to relax into that. You don't want to go too hard as well, because the weight of your arms can sometimes pull too much. So just take it easy, go in increments, bend your knees if you want to, and relax into it so it feels good. Back down through our squat that we did onto the ground, where we'll do a child's pose, if you remember that one. Just a kid playing with their feet, figure 4, and then a new variation on a twist, which is called a twisted root. You keep your legs twisted over, and you move to the side the same as you were on the supine twist. You can put some light pressure on your knee, and then twist back into it, like that. Then we'll come back to a bridge, and again, and we'll go into a cross-legged, and end the day with a couple of rounds of the box breathing just to calm us out. It's a bit of work to do it. Hopefully you sweat a little bit. Hopefully you find your edge a little bit as we've been doing. And let's see how this goes. Once again, we'll start out at the back of our mat, on our knees, or the back of the area. And just put our hands on our knees and just sort of relax into this. Big breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth, and let's get rid of that stale air. to our toes. Just stretch out our feet for a second. Arms in front. This time, let's put our arms together, pointing out to the sides of our mat with a couple of inches in between. And we'll just push back and forth. Feel that on our toes and feel that on our wrists. And put some little circles. We want to feel a stretch, but we don't want to feel any pain. Go both ways. Put your hands facing your knees if you can. And just sort of lean back in, still feeling that stretch in our toes. And just feeling a little stretch on the other side of our wrists. Into tabletop. Do 3 rounds of cat-cow. So inhale as we drop our bellies and put our head forward. Feel that in the back of your back. Tuck your tailbone underneath. And back to tabletop. And on an inhale, lift your arm to as high as you can. Two more breaths. Inhale and exhale, your arm goes through and down. Just relax on the floor. Inhale your arms all the way back up. Put your arm forward and stabilize. And then let's do the other side. Inhale, arm all the way up. And inhale and exhale. Your arm goes through. And your face comes to the mat if you can. Inhale your arms right back up. And then forward all that way you can. Back to tabletop. Inhale onto your toes and into downward dog. Let's find that a little bit. Stretch out the back of your calves. Try to get a nice straight line. We'll relax here for 3 breaths. Inhale to plank. Pressure goes towards your thumb and your first finger, so you're not putting too much strain on your outside wrists. A couple more breaths. Inhale, bring your right leg forward if you can. Nice and slow, as slow as you can. And you're going to find a good stable base for this crescent lunge. Your foot in a little bit. It's close to 90 degree here. And sort of sink into that. And then your arms go above your head, active like you're holding a ball. Let's do that for 3 breaths. And inhale, put your left arm forward and your right arm back. And try to twist with your torso, not your arm. It's got some balance there. Now sort of slowly windmill. Your arms, your feet are going to stay in the same position. Your front leg goes forward. Still can see your top 2 toes. Your back leg on the 45 and looking out over your middle finger. If you want a little bit of relief, put your front leg forward a little bit as that variation, or otherwise sink into that just for a couple more breaths. Now inhale, we're going right back onto our heel on this one and putting our weight on the back leg. I put my hands here. You can go low if you want. This is a high variation of this side lunge. And hold that. Inhale, up to the front of the mat, into that chair pose. A lot of work on our legs today. Sink into it. Arms in the front of you. Inhale and forward fold and relax here for a second. And find some relaxation. Bend your legs a bit if you want. You can cross your arms together and just get a stretch. This should feel nice. And inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, we're putting our right leg back this time. Or crescent lunge on the other side. 90 degrees if you can. You should be able to see your toe. The more you lower this, the easier it is on the back, but the harder a stretch it is. And then hands above your head like you're holding a beach ball. And inhale, your right arm front, your left arm back. That's your twist. Using your core for 2 more breaths. Now windmill your hands. And finally some relief into warrior 2. Different set of muscles, looking at over. Bring your knee up if you want a little bit of relief. Otherwise, sink into that. Inhale, and a side lunge. to the right side. The more you put your hips out, the more stretch you feel there. Inhale, nice and slow. Again, to a chair. And inhale and exhale, forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees all the way to the top. Just get your chest facing the ceiling. Your hips forward a little bit. Inhale, and then your hands through your center. A moment to relax. And inhale, your arms come behind you, interlace, and let that fall forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down to that squat for a moment. Keep your back straight as you can. Get a nice stable position. If it's not feeling right, you can go sit on your back. Now we're going to slowly just go back onto our back and into the old happy baby pose. Slowly back. Reach wherever you can on your legs. Outside of your toes is good. And sort of pull your legs gently into your armpits if you can. But you can hold behind, you can hold your shins, wherever it's comfortable for you. Just sort of stretch into that. You can sort of move around on your spine a little bit. Sort of massage. Let's hold that for just a couple of moments. Now inhale, keep your feet flexed, and your right foot goes over your knee. Your arm goes through and grabs onto your shin if you can, or the back of your leg, or even just the top of your shin. We're going to stretch out the right side of our leg on a figure four. With each breath, you might be able to pull just a little bit more, but don't overdo it. And inhale, keep your right leg over your left and twist over to the side for this twisted root. And keep your hand just on the outside of your leg and stretch back onto the other side. Try to put your shoulders down to the ground, but again, you're not pushing it. Inhale, help your knees up. Just hug your knees into your chest for a moment, just so you can feel your spine almost realign. And then put your left foot over your right knee, keeping both your feet flexed, and reach through to wherever's comfortable. Just pull on that one. This always feels different than the other side. Inhale, twisted root on the other side. Keep your legs rather, still over top of each other. Your right arm on your left leg, and just sort of fall into the other side. See if you can, with each breath, your shoulder falls closer to the ground. But again, we're not pushing it, just letting the body weight do the work. Man, that's my favorite. Okay, let's come back and just reset our spine a little bit again. Just hug your knees in, straighten it all up, and then your legs go down, your hands go beside your heels, and you push up with your heels and flex your butt, and then tuck your shoulder blades underneath. Keep some space between your chin and your chest so you're not hurting your neck. And just sort of push up with your heels. You should feel it in your quads. Your butt should be flexed. And do that to whatever extent. You don't have to just go as high as you can. It's about feeling the sensation again, right? And just sort of live there. Now, lift your heels up so on your toes. Put your arms over your head and slowly down, one little vertebrae at a time if you can. And hug your knees in, and we'll hold that just for a few seconds. So hold your breath. And release. Now, if you can, put your hands underneath your legs, and with sort of one little roll, if you keep yourself rigid, you can roll all the way up, perfectly balanced. For some reason, that was quite the feat when I was suddenly be able to do that. So I do it. Now let's find that cross-legged. If you want to raise yourself a little bit, do that. Find the most comfortable position. And let's just box breathe for 4 breaths. 5 seconds inhale, 5 seconds across, 5-second exhale, 5 seconds hold. Okay? So inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Last one. Hold. Exhale. Hold. And back to normal breathing. Try and keep breathing through your nose no matter what. It's a nice way to breathe. It's an interesting thing in the exhale, how you're sort of toying with the fact that it doesn't feel like you have air in your lungs. Don't push it again. It should all feel good. Have a great day or a great night or a great morning. We'll see you in the next video. Always talk to your healthcare professional before starting a new regime. If you experience pain, discomfort, or dizziness, slow down or stop. These videos will become easier each day, but if it doesn't feel right today, go slower or move to another video. Listen to your body.